Good morning. This is Question Time with Carrie, starring Jair. Today we are interviewing Ms. Defillippi, a Niskayuna social studies teacher who just moved up from Van Antwerp Middle School. What did you do before becoming a teacher?
I trained to be a teacher. I came straight out of college to be a teacher.
Where did you go to college?
St. Bonaventure University.
Where is that?
It's about 2 hours south of Buffalo in New York still.
If you could have any other job, what would it be?
I love fixing up houses and renovating them. I like to think I can do most of it, but I have good ideas and I like to have other people complete the projects for me.
If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Probably to Italy. I have some family heritage there. Married into family heritage with the name Defillippi.
And there's probably a lot of history there too.
There is. There's a lot of history. I'd probably like to go to Vatican City, which is, you know, someplace everyone knows.
Do you have a favorite childhood memory?
I have a lot of great childhood memories. I had a pretty good upbringing, but I would say that I remember most, now that I'm a teacher, playing teacher since I was about 3 years old.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I was a typical set up the classroom kind of child.
So I mentioned obviously before that you recently moved up from the middle school to the high school. What was that transition like?
At first daunting because I have studied American history most of my career. So I was moved to global history, but the high school is great, the staff is wonderful, and obviously the students I have already mostly met, so that was not daunting at all. That was nice.
That's great. And what about the material? It's very different from what you've taught before. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot more work to just prepare myself, but it's really, prior to this I thought American history was more interesting, but it was really just because that's what I knew most. But world history's, you know, there's lots to it, so the students may not find it interesting, but I find it fascinating.
What is your favorite part of history to teach, would you say?
That's hard because there's so much, and it's typical, like I said, kind of what you know that seems more interesting. So I would definitely say modern day American history is really interesting to me just because there's so many facets that you can study with it, and it's because that's what I know the best.
That makes sense. If you had to say, do you have a favorite historical event or figure?
There's a lot. I would definitely probably go with Eleanor Roosevelt as far as a figure because of her impact on history.
Could you possibly go any further and
yeah,
see what
sure.
she did?
It just in a time when women weren't you know, as powerful in society, she really did a lot for everyone from behind the scenes as the president's wife, and I think she kind of set the standard for what the president's wife should do in society. While she's not elected to her position, she did so much, and there's so many letters that were written to her during the Great Depression pleading to her for help because she often at least acknowledged the problem and tried to do whatever she could do. She made a lot of headway for women as well as African Americans in a time when that was hard.
Well, that's certainly a lot of things to do. Unfortunately, that's all the questions we have for the day. So thank you for joining us, Mrs. Defillippi. This was Question Time with Carrie, starring Jair.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming.